Look, I was down on my back. They never thought I would last. I didn't run out of gas. I'm giving all that I can. They didn't know I'm the one. Stand my ground when they thought I would run. Beat me down when they thought I was done. Beating death like the sound of my drum. Feel like I can go do what I want. Hey, liberated. Liberated, man, I come from the worst generation.
What's up, everyone? Kane here, Captain of the Day's Pirates, back at it again with RP Luffy. Gonna get the content flowing back out for you guys. I apologize for a little bit of a hiatus, just trying to kind of navigate what the next couple of years are going to look like personally and how and what role kind of this channel and this community and this game can play in it going forward. So overall, I mean, I basically have a month before I'm moving out of Chicago. I'm hopefully moving directly to Florida, but we'll see as we're kind of waiting on some more kind of things to shape up and confirm over the next couple of months. But I'm not going to drag all that through the dirt. We are going to jump right into uh, a deck list here. I'm going to circle back to the deck list after we go through the games, but I want to kind of show it up on the screen just in case anyone wanted to, snatch a quick screenshot or pause it and kind of click through it real quick. Overall, the idea is that we are utilizing the Rosie package or the new Rosinante from OP10 and cycling through some removal events to kind of smooth out our mid game and also have some additional Don up later through that Rosinante. So from what I have been seeing of the meta, it does seem like a lot of Blackbeard, a lot of Doffy, a lot of Shanks at the higher levels. I know there's a lot of other things circling around, a lot of matchups that we're going to have to dig back into. But today we do have 3 games ready. The first one is against a Blackbeard, and then we have a Shanks, and then we do have a Doffy. Um, so all these on kind of the OP10 ranked ladder. I'm kind of reclimbing my ranks, so not super, high tier. Can't say I like over a billion bounty or anything like that. But I did elect to go second in this game, and I did elect to keep my hand, because I have a Sanji into ramp relatively effectively, and a fairly aggressive curve, which we really like into this matchup as well. I just go all in on Dom. I just go ahead and use the Divine Departure. Just keep that life healthy. Had the Don available, so might as well use it. Then I'm debating if I want to play out that Mr. 2, but I do like to play the Sanji, so I have the opportunity to remove some things that they might play, um, and also um, have that Mr. 2 available later when they do get to that Blackbeard turn, the 10 cost turns. So I'm at 6 already. I'm debating if I really need to ramp, right? I'm thinking like, we didn't ramp. Do we want to ramp here? It would only put us to 7, and it would give us the opportunity to play Sanji, which isn't a terrible plan or terrible board state at all. But what I did elect to do here is just play through the 5 cost Luffy, because first of all, I don't have any top end right now anyways. And then on top of that, either way, we're going to 9 Don next turn, so I have a lot of flexibility with that. So I get to go 7/7 here very aggressively into them, which is a lot of pressure for Blackbeard this early. Especially because going into our 9 Don turn, they are very much inclined to and will want to, um, what's the word, use their leader effect and pitch cards. So I'm just kind of looking at what is in their trash and how they had been removing my things, because they did use a couple uh, finger guns and got one out of the trigger and so on. So look at how many cards are in there. What I'm looking at here is if they play a Kuzan, what do they have available to get back? Such as, do they have a Burgess available if they want to play out that Kuzan that I do believe that I saw them search at some point? So even with no on plays, just being able to develop 2 6K swingers and leave Don open is pretty nice here. The Kuzan and Burgess. The Burgess already being 9K is very strong. They do like to bring back the Shiryu and destroy my Sanji. giving me a card. It's not the end of the world, although would like to have swung with it, obviously. Reading what Shiryu does, 'cause I didn't know exactly at this time. God Thread does give me the opportunity to remove Shiryu. And the Luffy also gives me a lot of flexibility to create pressure. Yeah, they had another finger gun out of life there. It's a little bit unfortunate, but we just kind of decided had to pivot to have the option to leave down open or not. Actually, I guess I didn't really need to leave down open here. So we're kind of mapping out exactly what we want to do now that Rosinante is gone. And at this point, I just figure we're going to push in, keep on the aggression, go in for another 8, 9. Oh yeah, and I just went on the spot there too. So just that all-out aggression is really the ideal curve. Like, hey, if we ramp up to our 9 costs and we get to play those out, that's excellent. I do have Roger in the deck, right? So we do have that finisher against them. But just playing out 2 of the 5-cost Luffys on curve up the ladder is just a ton of pressure, especially if they're going to be utilizing their leader effect. Just 1 second here. Yeah, they don't have any music going at all. So we are going to get going with our Shanks game. We are electing to go second, take away their curve. I kind of go back and forth. I do really like just going first in general. So with that being the case, it's pretty tempting to just kind of push for that. But I did elect to go second to kind of deny their 8 drops. So we are going to start this here. And I know it is playing through, but I'm not getting that. So I'm going to keep it relatively quiet so you have just a little bit of background noise there. Sorry. Jump right back into it. This video is not going to be the longest. We are going to be moving forward with a Monday and Thursday upload schedule. So Monday we will have a GP Luffy gameplay video because I am going to be playing in a regional this weekend. So ideally we will be using that regional footage for a video on Thursday. Otherwise, GP Luffy would have probably been lined up with right before the release of the set. But we'll have GP Luffy on Monday. Early turns, nothing too exciting. They searched and then swung 7K. We took it. We play out our Mr. 2 for the ramp. They swing 10. A little bit of pressure here, but we do have a lot of cards and a lot of counter going into the next few turns. So shouldn't be the end of the world. But again, here we are just playing through that Dream Luffy. Or no, maybe I did elect to play the Rosinante. Rosinante without cycling. Because I obviously didn't want to get rid of that Gum Gum Giant. But to that end, oh, the reason I did that, I do remember this now, is because I'm going into a turn where I want to play. Actually, I'm at 9 anyways. So that's 7. Anyway, I'm gonna have Don for my Gum Gum Giant this turn. I think my thought process was, oh, that's actually kind of where we ended up playing this out. Sorry. Part of the going back through the games does allow me to kind of remember these things. I should probably take a little bit more notes but this is a good thought process thing to mention here. So last turn I could have been a bit more aggressive with the Luffy and then just slammed my Newgate here. But the reason that I went for Rosinante first was based on the fact that they did not have really any active board pressure. So developing a Newgate here is rather low tempo in the grand scheme of things because I'm really only going to negate their leader swing or like maybe if they have a dragon specifically, but now they probably just don't play the dragon. Maybe, I don't know. I guess if I'm worried about dragon, it could still be worth it. But the thought is that if they do put out a big threat, then I'm able to play that Newgate and have that pressure off me and go into the next couple turns. Or not, because he did not develop anything on the board, I am able to go directly into a 5-cost Luffy and then have that Newgate for a subsequent turn when they are going to be slamming a dragon or fouling up, you know, a 10 cost Shanks or something like that. So we get to go 7, 7. And I think I developed the 5 cost and the Sanji here. Yeah. It's another 7. So I got to swing 7 at him 3 times this turn, develop another 6K, and then end my turn with Gum Gum Giant down open. Very strong sequence. Both of these 5 costs feel very good going into this meta, in my opinion. I am early on my testing. I definitely haven't locked up what I'm going to even play in 2 days. But these cards have been some very welcome tools, I'll tell you that much. Close? He's thinking. He swings big. I just giant out to have the Don and counter to do so. Again, he still hasn't developed anything worthwhile. All of my bodies are 6K, so I'm not really worried about like a Red Hawk sniping anything. I was having a little bit of thought process here around whether or not I wanted to play out the Roger and have the 2 down open with the after playing the Roger still. But in this case, going up to 8K, kind of warding off anything silly is pretty favorable. I mean, relatively speaking, you could go 15K here, but then he takes a whole turn off. Yada yada. We just probably win the next turn. Not probably, we definitely win the next turn, mathematically. But they do just play the Shanks, play into board. You can have that. Counter out of that. Oh, I did make a stupid mistake here. So I am thinking through, oh, I'm going for lethal here no matter what. So I'm debating whether or not I should be countering or not. But he has a second Uta. So there's no reason to counter it. That was a complete waste. And I was like, that's when I realized, I was like, oh, that was dumb. But oh well. Didn't really matter because either way, we're finishing the game on this turn. The 9 pressures to where even if they use leader effect, it takes 2 cards out of their hand, and then we're able to finish out with the other swings, but we don't even need to go that far. Now we do have a Doflamingo, and this game actually was very up and down, I'll tell you. I thought this might be a loss, and I thought it might be a loss that I included anyways, so I did think there were some notes or some thoughts to have with it. But we'll kind of see how it plays out, and we'll talk through it. We did get to choose to go first, which is amazing. That's definitely preferred for us. We are looking at a similar Sanji into Luffy curve, most likely. I am debating going for more counter there, because you know Doffy is Doffy. But overall, want to have that mid game play and pressure as well. Sorry, excuse me. So committing to that 5 cost Luffy, I do think was pretty worthwhile, even though my hand gets a little bit clunky here the next couple turns. Develop that Sanji. They play out a Perona. I think they also play out a Teach. And I think it was into a Weevil, maybe. Or no, it was just straight up into Weevil. So they draw another 10 cost. We're like, all right, not looking great. I do go for 6 into leader. He 2Ks there. I go for 6 into leader here as well. He gives me 2 1Ks. He gave me 2 1Ks for that leader swing. So I go now say, okay, let's go 7 into this. He gives me 2 1Ks again. Okay. Think we're in pretty good shape now. We play the Jozu, bouncing the buggy, I think it was. Yep. So I put the 2K back into his hand, which I kind of overlooked a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but not the end of the world. We are now basically in a position to just replay that 5-cost Luffy. I do again elect to pressure into this, knowing he does have the buggy in hand. I kind of forgot about it for a second, but I'm like, okay, that's fine. Now let's play this. Go 7 in. He has another 2K. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oops, sorry. I'm kind of irritated at this point. I'm like, well, he has no hand. We might be able to stabilize. He does have a 6 and a 7. So let's see. I got a couple 1Ks, but it's not looking great. Does go for 8 into 6. Can't do much about that, unfortunately. 9 into leader. Have to kind of take that as well. 8 into leader. We get a divine departure out of that. Draw another divine departure is pretty nice. Not like insane, but pretty nice. At this point, I'm like heaved because he's got all these 2Ks, and then he red rocks my thing. So this I am swinging an 8 and the 7. So I'm like, oh, it surely doesn't have another 2K. Yeah, he had one more 2K. After doing two 1Ks into two, like two 1Ks for a 2K counter twice, and then had three 2Ks in a row after that. It was just hilarious. So at this point, I'm debating pretty heavily what I want to do. I'm debating whether or not a Monkey D. Luffy Gear 5 or a 9 cost is better. The case for the 10 cost is the fact that it allows me to cycle a card just like the 9 cost does. It also develops that 12 cost, obviously. In that scenario, I could maybe develop that Sanji or something else as alongside, or maybe even just the Zoro and start and ramp right back up to 10. But in this case, in this scenario, because either way, I'm kind of the most valuable thing to me is the card draw. I did elect to play the Luffy and cycle 1 and keep 2 down open, even though I only have the Divine Departure. At this point, we have kind of cycled through into some counters, so we're not destitute. We did get to Divine Departure, another 8K swing. That feels pretty good. We don't have any 2Ks still, so we do take this 8. Or no, I do end up giving 3. I end up giving 3 here. They go for another 8, and I go, well, I guess I gotta take it. And then, good thing we left 2 down open instead of swinging for 7. He didn't end up going for it, but the bailout. The plot armor. Oh, he ended up making me use it. I decided at this point I'm very not likely not going to use the Roger at all. And now we go for a 10 into face. And we have we have mathematically won at this point. 7 requires 2 cards from them. Now 10 from leader is too much, 12 from leader is too much. Gear 5 with that phenomenal win. With a little bit of luck and a little bit of Gear 5 would have been not the worst. I'm sorry, a little bit of luck and a little bit of Queens may not have been the worst case scenario as it is. But some great showings against, my quick look over the regional tops. A good slice of each pie has been those 3 leaders. So a good showing for the deck on kind of an experimental package that we'll kind of run you through here. So I did cut Nami down to only 3 copies just because of everything else I'm trying to fit into here. The ramp package is 3 Zorojuros, 2 God Threads, and 4 of the Bond Clays. That is 9 ramp pieces, 2 events for some Rosy cycling. Early game plays, we do have 3 additional Sanjis, which is searchable and a good tempo play for us. Then we have the 3 queens and 2 Luffys in the 5-cost slot with blocker and rush, giving us flexibility into that defense or offense late game. Ben Beckman and Mulgun both fit very well into the mid game, controlling the board and putting pressure back on your opponent. Mulgun in particular is very interesting. It does have that stipulation where it does have to be you have to control someone with 6,000 power, but it's not base power. So you could like put 2 down on a Zora Juro and then use this, and other things like that. Or you could swing with Bond Clay to buff and then use this as well. One thing that it does particularly combo well with is the Sanji at 7 Don. If you play Sanji, you have 4 left over to then play Mulgun and kill whatever your opponent played for 5 or 6 Don. Not very many things at 5 or 6 Don that are more than 7k power. This card will be in particularly good against GP Luffy for removing Sanji and Pudding. So that's something to think about as well. God Thread also just removing 5 costs, very nice, very flexible. And then going into the top end, we do have our King of the Pirates 2 of combo that you come to expect from me. I am kind of tinkering with trimming on these, but man, do they just win games sometimes, and I do like to win games. So then we do have 3 new gates, new gate flexibility into some of the aggression that I didn't showcase here, but I know Zoro and Betty, things like that are around. So having that additional control and defensive option is very strong. I know that Alyssa just top forward with our RP Luffy did have 3 new gates as well, and then 2 of the 9-cost Luffys at this time as well. Then our 2Ks are just 8 offensive 2Ks, our Uso Hachis and our Sanji from ST21 to round that out. So again, if you are now jumping to the end of the peak of the deck list, Monday and Thursdays are going to be the regular upload schedule. And I hope you guys enjoyed the new introduction. That music, original audio is in the description too. I appreciate the artist allowing me to use that. And I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you all on Monday.